Hello, my dear Cancers. This is your reading for the week of May 25th, or when you hear it and it resonates. And of course, it will not be for every Cancer. So, Cancer, what I first started seeing when I was connecting with your energy was I was seeing almost like, I want to say a band-aid being ripped off, but it wasn't. It was tape. But it was that sense of ripping it off and the rawness of that moment where it rips, but then it's over. And that's what it feels like, is that for some of you, this really definitely, I'm seeing it on your heart. Now, what's relevant about this is that what Spirit was giving me after I saw that was that while sometimes emotions have felt like a shock to you, you have in some ways kind of guarded your heart. And I see it literally almost like duct tape, like you're protecting your heart, you're wrapping it up. And I personally love duct tape and feel like it can handle pretty much anything. But what you're being told here is that you did not realize you were much stronger than you thought. You, because you've been so emotional in many ways in your life, you have not always felt confident that you were going to be able to handle intense emotional situations. So you had a tendency to hold back and stay in your shell a little bit, like a good Cancer will do. There's that protection of the shell, so that can lead you to be a little bit insular in your relationships and in some of the things you will allow yourselves to do because of the way it will take you out into the world, and potentially risk too much of an impact on your empathic self to really feel like you have confidence. But what they're showing me is after the tape comes off, you realize the heart's fine. The heart's fine. Your chakra is good. It's strong. And what's happened over the years that you have kind of maybe held it in a little bit with this tape or supported it with the tape, whatever the tape represents in terms of protecting your heart, what you've been doing is you've been growing in your confidence as you've gradually, incrementally dealt with things. And what they're also saying is you've been shaken. Oh my goodness. You've been shaken out of your complacency quite a few times, or out of your protectiveness quite a few times, because you thought you were in situations that were safe. And lo and behold, they turned out not to be. So you got kind of like a rude awakening, but the universe will do that. Life is like that. Nature is like that. It cannot stand a vacuum. So if something is staying for too long in the same kind of situation and is not able to evolve, nature is going to come in and make it happen. So whether they make it happen with you directly or with somebody around you that just really shakes it up, you have really had the ability to move beyond much of what you thought was true about yourself, and therefore you've been able to risk taking chances on other things. Part of what allows you to do that is not having an emotional reaction to an emotion. Thank you. I'm going to repeat that. Part of what has allowed you to develop your confidence and your willingness to take chances with different kinds of heart connections is by choosing to not have an opinion about an emotion or a judgment about an emotion. You can just have it. You don't have to be emotional about an emotion. You don't have to get emotional because you have this. And that's absolutely crucial, because when you are allowing yourself to just notice what the emotion is, what the feeling is, that's when you can work with it and track back to whatever energy is still in there that might need to move. It might be in the form of a memory. We have cellular memory. It might be in the form of a memory. It might be in the form of something that is a miasm of energy that doesn't really carry a charge to it, but is still there and needs to be moved out. So what you're being told here is you can, for those of you who have not started this yet, and some of you might not have, check back with yourself, because there's a lot more strength and emotional resilience in you than you have previously preceded. Now, I'm also being told to share It does not mean that you disregard the fact that you are emotionally and energetically sensitive and empathic. You do need to honor that as well. It's both. It's not all closed in and it's not all wide open. This is, you're learning boundaries. That's part of what allows you to be able to move into life with more confidence, is because you're understanding what the nature of a boundary is for you and how to apply it in various different situations. That's huge. As soon as you do that, that's amazing. The biggest and most important boundary is within yourself. And again, that goes back to choosing not to have an emotion about having an emotion. So, in other words, if you fall into a funk because you realize that you're a deeply jealous person, well, don't beat yourself up for being jealous. Just go, oh, look, there's jealousy there. Now, where do I learn with this? What do I take from this filament of awareness? And where is it going to lead me? Okay? I'm going to leave you with that, Cancers. This is really quite lovely. Take good care. Much love.